Hey everyone! I'm way too late on this video, but I wanted to make a correction to a big mistake I made in my last video. If you haven't seen it yet, please go check it out. It's a dive into some weird facts about Deltarune's music. Most of the video is still pretty good in my humble opinion, but I made a mistake when describing how the code controlling song speed works. As it turns out, I completely misunderstood the code, so I wanted to take some time to fix that mistake. To sum up what I got wrong, I initially said that this variable controls the song's length instead of the song's speed as you would expect. This is incorrect. The variable does control speed. What happened here is I got confused while going through the list of songs. I was using VGM4U's videos as a source to check against, and it turns out they made a mistake. They have Welcome to the City listed as playing 3% faster when it actually plays 3% slower. Because of that, I failed to properly understand how the variable works. Just to be clear, I'm not trying to call out VGM4U. They made a mistake, but it was a small mistake that's easy to make. I should have taken more time to verify this information. Most of my effort towards making that video went into gathering information about the songs, understanding how to use Undertale mod tool, and figuring out how to navigate Toby's code. I should have put more time into understanding the code. That being said, this goes to show how little info there is out there on this topic and how easy it is to make mistakes. It also goes to show how you can't be sure who to trust, just like how I wasn't sure I could trust the info on the YouTube channels I found. Thankfully, I think I found a way to try and make up for spreading misinformation. Not only have I done the work I was previously too careless to do, I've also prepped a tutorial so you can do it yourself and fact check me to make sure I actually got it right this time. There's a Google Doc in the description and the pinned comment. In this document, I've prepared an explanation of Undertale mod tool and how it works, but for this video, I'm going to get right to the most important bits, so please read the document if you want to know more details. This is going to serve as the too long didn't read version of my document. Let's start off with a basic explanation of a few things so we can understand what we're looking at and what to look for. My mistake was misunderstanding how the game controls the speed of songs, so we're going to need to understand how Deltarune does that. GameMaker, the engine Deltarune is built in, has a built-in function called audio sound pitch. It functions as a basic multiplier of speed, so 1 is the default speed, 1.5 is 150% speed, or 50% faster, and 0.8 is 80% speed, or 20% slower. There are two other functions created by the Deltarune team that use audio sound pitch as a base for what they do, but they also have unique features. Muse Loop EXT is the most common function you will see if you're looking for song speed changes. As you can see, the function has these brackets around it. Inside you will usually find text that says global.currentsong0 followed by two numbers, all of which are separated by commas. The global current song text means that this is altering whatever music is currently playing. The two numbers represent volume and pitch. Volume is on the left and pitch is on the right. As you can see, this acts as a more multi-purpose function, allowing the programmers to alter multiple parts of the music all at once. The last method is cmuse, and I'll be honest, I understand this one the least. From what I've been told, it was added in the LTS update that happened a while back. Speaking of the LTS update, I should add that that's the version I've been looking at this whole time, so if you notice any discrepancies with your version, that's probably what it is. Anyways, the cmuse function is extremely versatile, able to handle many different things related to cutscenes. It has 18 different functions, but thankfully, all we care about for finding the speed of the songs is the one called pitch. It should be easy to find. After cmuse, there will be brackets, and within those brackets, it'll say pitch. Alright, now we know what to look for when we're searching the script for song speed changes, but now we need to know how to find the right scripts. Let's find out how to find them. You're going to want to search through the scripts for song names. This makes it easy to find every time the code starts a song and every time a song gets altered. If you're planning on going through all the songs like I did, it also makes it a lot easier to be sure which songs you've checked and which you haven't. However, you're also going to need to know how to properly search before you start. Your trusty Control F will be useful, but unfortunately it isn't enough to find everything. The main thing we are going to use is Undertale Mod Tool's Find tab. All we have to do is click Find and Search in Code. Some pop-ups are going to appear. The first one is going to ask you, case sensitive? I suggest that you say yes to this. It makes it so that it will distinguish between upper and lowercase letters. Make sure you copy-paste song names so you don't accidentally capitalize letters. There will be another pop-up. Just press yes. It has no relevance to what we are searching for, and I have been informed it will be changed in an update to Undertale Mod Tool if it hasn't been already. Something else to keep in mind is that a song's file name doesn't always match the soundtrack name, kind of like what I showed in the first video with Big Shot being called Spamton Neo Mix EX WIP. Make sure you search for file names. It won't recognize soundtrack names. Lucky for you, in my document I have a list of every song name and the associated file name. And that's the way to find the songs and figure out the speeds. Not too difficult, but it is very time consuming. Now that you've had a basic rundown on how to fact check me, let's get into all the songs that have had their speed altered by the code. And remember, check out my document in the description if you want more detailed instructions, as well as the file names of all the songs. Another Hymn is played 98% slower on startup before quickly increasing to only 4% slower in-game. Cliffs is played 5% slower in-game. The Legend is played 5% slower in-game. Fanfare from Rose of Winter plays 5% slower when Susie follows at a distance. Lantern is played 5% slower in-game. Rule's Card is played 10% faster after completing his first puzzle, and 10% slower after beating the second K round encounter. The Circus is played 15% slower in the question mark room before Jevil, and 25% slower in the Jevil fight during his final dialogue. Friendship is played 5% slower in-game. The Holy is played 10% slower in-game. A Town Called Hometown is played 3% slower in-game. You Can Always Come Home is played 3% slower in-game. Before the Story is played 5% slower in-game. Faint Glow is played 5% slower in-game. A Simple Diversion is played 20% faster while playing the third Mouse Room minigame. Welcome to the City is played 3% slower in-game. Cyber City Alt is played 20% faster in-game. Mini Studio is played 3% slower in-game. Hip Shop is played 2% slower in Swatch's shop. The Dark Truth is played 5% slower in-game. Deal Gone Wrong is played 30% faster in the normal route encounter, and 80% faster when Spamton raises his defense in the Weird Route battle. Dial Tone is played 2% slower in Spamton's shop, and 30% slower after completing the transfer. Flashback Excerpt is played 5% slower in-game. Whew! There we go. Pretty weird selection of songs. Now, some of them do make sense, pretty obviously having their speed altered for dramatic effect, but a lot of these are so small I struggle to see why they were even changed. Yeah, I still don't have answers as to why this happened. Hopefully having this info in one place is helpful to curious people like me. If I missed any songs or got something wrong again, let me know. I will have another pinned comment and I will update the document. With my mistake fixed, I can rest easy until Deltarune Chapters 3 and 4 are finally out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.